Hey everyone, this is Sandeep back with another video. And in today's video, once again, we are going to continue to build our portfolio website. And in this video, we are going to make the skills section really exciting because I'm going to tell you how to create CSS animations in this video. So we are going to create some animations around our skills. So this video is going to be really helpful for you if you want to understand how animation works in CSS. So let's directly jump into the coding. Okay, so first we'll start with the HTML structure as usual. So I'm going to copy this because I like to put some comments that will help me, navigate through my code. So I'm going to paste this one here. And we are building the skills section. So I'm going to say it skills section. And I did something wrong here. It's not projects navigation, it's project section. So I'm going to show different skills here, and I'm going to have different category of skills. So like I'm going to create two sections of skills. There can be variety of skills you can have, right? And you can group them or you can categorize them into different sections. So I'm going to have two different sections. If I go back to my application which is running here, or website this is running here, right? We're going to make something like this, the card layout, like how you see here. This is a card layout we have, right? So something like similar to this, and I'm going to go to my responsive menu basically, and I'll open the responsive menu. Something like this. So this will be first section and this will be the second section. So again, I'm going to use the card layout here. So for that, obviously I need outer container. That will be my flex container. And then I'm going to have two different cards. Inside those cards, I'm going to have my skills. So let's do that. Let's first add a section. So I'm going to have a section and let's give it a name of skills. Probably I can give it a name of skills. That will be, so this will be my flex container. I'm just giving you the idea of how we are going to write the CSS also. But HTML and writing semantic HTML is also really important. That's what I am trying to stress on the HTML part. So, and then I'm going to have, so I'm not going to have a div again, I'm using div, but let's have a section outside, and inside that section, probably I can create different divisions. So I'm going to have two different groups. So the first group I'm going to name, so I'm going to call them group only. So this is my first section for my skills. I'm going to have two different groups. So let me create. So I'm going to create first group, and then probably I'm going to just copy and paste. Okay. Then inside that group, I'm going to have a heading 2, and I'm not going to give it any class name because I know it's not going to repeat inside this section. So h2. So first I'm going to have some programming skills. Okay. So, or maybe I'll say programming tools, something like that, or programming skills also I can make it, whatever you can write. And inside this, so this is a heading of my section, right? And inside that, I'm going to have my different skills, different programming skills, which I can put here, right? So those will be called skill, right? I'm going to call them skills. So I'm going to have one more section, a division for each individual skill. Inside that, I'm going to give the heading to that skill. So first, maybe I'll start with HTML, CSS. So this is my skill, and this is the name of the skill, and this is, and inside that, inside my skill, I want to show like how I want to rate myself, maybe in percentages or maybe in numbers, right? How good I am in HTML or CSS. For that, I'm going to create a progress bar component. So that to create a progress bar, again, we will need a section, right? And I'm going to give it a class name of progress and progress. So we need like different So I'm going to give this one progress 1. Okay. So progress is a common class. I need it. That's why I'm using here. And inside that, I'm going to put a span element, just an empty span element, because to create a progress bar, we need an outer container. And inside that, we have that bar, right? To show like in percentages or in numbers, right? So I'm going to basically rate my skills in percentages. So this is what we need to repeat, right? So this is my first skill. I'm going to repeat it. So let me check. I have skill, I have group, I have skills, then progress and progress 1. This is what needed because I need to do a lot of copy paste and I want to avoid that changing at every place. So let's put all the skills something. This will be second one, third one, fourth one, fifth one. So I'm going to have 5 different skills here. You can decide with any number. I'm going with 5. You can have multiple skills. You can put all those skills. I'm going to go with JavaScript. Will be my second one. And we need to change this to progress 2. Next one will be, I'll go with React JS. Let's give it progress 3. And third one, I'll go with oh my, this is HTML, CSS, JavaScript, React. I'll go with Angular JS or Angular. This will be my fourth one. And let's go with Java. That will be the fifth one. 5. So I've created 5 different skills inside the first category, first group, that is programming skills. Next, I'm going to copy this group again. I'm going to copy the group and I'll create another group. So this is a group 2, right? And this will be, I'm going to name it programming tools. Okay. And this is again a skill. So maybe I'll start with Webpack. How about Webpack? Progress 1, that's okay. Then I'll go with Maven. Let's go with another tool called Gradle. And I'll go with GitHub also, Git and GitHub. I'm going to mention both. And the last one, probably I'll go with NPM or Node. We can say Node also. Node is a language also. I mean, you can write server-side code. Okay, so HTML structure is ready. I would say let's go through it once again. So I have the skills. That's my flex container. Inside that, I have created 2 different divisions, right? So first one is, so I can collapse like this, okay? So first one is first section. So think like this, these are cards, right? I'm going to create a card layout, something like this, which we have created in the previous video. If I scroll down, right, something like this. Division 1, division 2. So I have, this one is first section, this one is second section. Inside that, we have our skills. So programming skills I have, and I have each individual skills I have created using a div tag. This is like a small box. And then I have a heading and my progress bar component. So these are like small component inside a larger component. So I think we are ready with the HTML structure. Let's go and code. I'm going to keep it expanded for now. Let's go and code our CSS now, the next part, which is important because that's how we are going to make our site beautiful, right? So let's start with CSS. So I'll go to CSS. Again, I'm going to follow the same format. So I need to scroll down and find out where I need to start. Okay, just before my media queries. And I used this comment. So let's put some comments also. So this will be for skills section. And I'm going to start with dot skills. That's the flex container. So display flex, really easy. I mean, till now you know like what I'm trying to do here. So if I go back, I think I should have went back before. So before putting display flex, I want to show you the structure. So they are like two boxes, right? The group 1 and group 2. They're just behaving from the box model perspective. They're just coming in a vertical direction, right? One box after the another one. I'm going to put display flex now, and that's going to bring them flex direction as a row. So they are like side by side. Okay, so these are two. So I need to create something like this. This kind of card layout, right? So this will be my first box. This will be my second box. So let's do one thing. Maybe display flex. I know I need to have a flex direction of row only, and I'm going to use justify content here. So let's justify our content, and so I want to justify my content in horizontal direction at the center. So let's go with the center value and align items. I need to align my items also. So let's use align. Probably this property is not needed, but I am going to align my items at the center. So if I do that, see that they came at the center. Now let's target, and I need to give some background color also to my container. So background color this time, maybe I'm going to use tertiary. Let's try which color? Let's try the tertiary one. I think we have already used tertiary. So let's try the secondary color. Okay, so this is contrasting to this color. So we have the tertiary color as a background. Now let's target the individual section. So for individual section, I have used a group class. Let me go back. Is it a group? In navigation, skill. So each skill I have named as a group. Okay. You can name it skill also if you want. I mean, naming convention are up to you, right? You can make a decision what name you want to give. So again, I want to create that beautiful card layout, right? Something like this, which is responsive by itself. So somehow it's not. Is there an error? Probably. I need to save, refresh, and I don't see the responsive thing working because okay, I need to use this one, not this one. Okay. So if I scroll down, see that this card layout, right? Something like that without using a media query. So I want to create that kind of card layout here. So to create that one, we use something called flex basis, right? So flex basis is like we use flex basis to set the initial value, some initial value for our card. So again, I'm going to go with 40 rem value. Let's see how it looks. 40 rem, this will be the basic size, see that? And I'll go with the flex grow. Let's try to give it a flex grow value of 1. So this is coming something like this. 2 boxes, right? And let's give some padding to our container. Flex containers, I'm going to give it a padding of maybe 1 rem. So that will give some spacing, right? So we got some spacing, and I'm going to give some padding here also. So I'll use maybe padding of 2 rem here. So that will give some spacing, some more spacing, right? So I have my, so you can see this layout, right? This is like a card layout. Maybe it's behaving like a card layout. If you go here, it's not coming down because I need to give wrap also. So let's use a flex wrap of wrap that will wrap my content. See that? Now if I go like this, probably we'll see them somewhere here. Okay, somewhere here, right? Until here they're coming, and then after this point, so I need to use, I think, not a 40 rem. Which value I have used for the card layout? I have used 25 rem. Let me try to use the same value. Maybe I'll go with 30 rem value, because I don't want my cards to, yes. So it's here, maybe after here, I want my cards that should show. In this view, I think it is looking better. Until here, I want something like this. So you can make your own decision, that size will help, that flex basis value will help you to set that size, width and height. So now let's target these elements inside our skill section one by one. So for that, I'll go back to my HTML structure. So we have a h2 inside a group. So let's do that. I'm going to say group and I'm going to target the h2. Let's change the color first. So I'm going to give it a color of var dash dash primary color, and I'm going to increase the font size also. So maybe I'll go with the font size of let's go with a calculated value. So let's try the 2 rem plus 1 viewport width value. Let's see how it looks. See that? So I think this is looking better. Let's go with this value for now. And these are different titles, right? So I'm going to target the first title, and that one is our h3 inside skill. Inside skills, I have skill. So again, I'm going to say inside my group only, I have skill, and inside that I have h3. So I'm going to target that also. I'm going to give the same color, but font size I'm going to reduce to 1 rem plus viewport width. Okay, so if I go responsive, if I reduce the size of my browser, I mean Windows, see that those fonts, they are also responsive, right? That's the beauty of calc function. So programming skill, programming tools. Now HTML, CSS, I think we have our title in place. Now the next thing is we need to target our progress component. Where is our progress component, right? Skill. So each skill, inside that skill we have this div which is a progress. So that's why we use this common class, right? So I'm going to target that progress, and I'm going to style it. So let's go to inside skills. I have the progress, right? So I'm going to say Control C, Control V, skill and progress. Okay, so for my progress component, first of all, I'm going to give it a width of 100%. And I'll give it a height of, maybe I'll start with 0.5 rem. Let's give some padding. Maybe I'll go with 0.25 rem. And let's give some background color. And that will be my, so I'm going to use variable here for the background color, and let's go with the primary color only. Let's go with the same style, right? How we are doing. So now if I go back, see that? So I have this progress bar, but I think the height is, I need to have more height. So let's go with 2 rem value. This is looking better. Or maybe I can go with 1.5 rem also. Let's try this. Okay, this is looking cool. Now I'm going to give some border radius that will, look beautiful. So I'm going to say border radius of maybe 1 rem. Let's try this value. Wow, this is looking good. Now this is outer part of my progress component, right? Inside that I'm going to have that value, right? So I want to rate myself in HTML, CSS. So this is like 100. So out of 100%, how much I would like to rate myself. Or if this is 10, how much I would like to rate myself. 90%, 9, 7, 8, something like that. So that rating we need to create, right? So that is my span. So I'm going to target that span. So I'm going to go with progress and span because I don't want to be more specific here. Progress, and inside that I have that span. I'm going to target that, and I'm going to give it a background color of white. I'll go with the white color. So you don't see anything because I haven't given. So I'll change the display. I don't need to give display basically, or maybe let's try this. Let me give it a background color. We have a background color. Let me give it some width. So maybe the width for my HTML CSS skill, I'm going to give 60% of my container, something like this. I don't see it, right? Because maybe I need to give it display flex here. Let's try some values. See that? So now my score is there, right? My rating is there, but I think I need more padding here. So I'll go with 0.5. Okay, and I need to give border radius to my rating also, right? So let's go with that too. I'll go with 1 rem value. See that? It's looking beautiful. So I've given the width, right, and I've rated myself uh, in all the skills, right, like 60%, but that's not the case, right? For all, you might be good in HTML CSS, but you are much better in JavaScript, so you want to rate yourself more in JavaScript, maybe like 80%, something like that. And this border is not looking good, so maybe I need to change this to 1 rem. Let's try that. What I'm changing, 1 rem is not looking good. Let's try the, sorry, I'm changing the padding basically. I don't want to change the padding. I want to change the border radius. So let's go with the 2 rem value here. Now this is looking better. And now I see the padding is, and let's go with height of 1 rem. And let's reduce this padding to 0.25. Okay, I think I need to go with 1.5. I'm experimenting with some values here. Okay, I think this is looking better. I'll experiment with those values. Coming back to our width, right? So I want to have different width for different skills because I have different rating for different skills. So to do that, that's why, if you come back to our HTML structure, what I did, I've written this progress 1, progress 2, progress 3, different classes. And even here, actually, I need to change it to 5, 6, 7, 8. So what, based on the number of skills and their different ratings, you need to change this class name. So I'm going to style only the first group, and probably you can style the second group. So let's target them. And for this, I'm going to use animations, the most beautiful thing in CSS. So let's do that. So I'm going to target my progress, and inside I know, like, I have progress 1. I can use the direct class name basically. So I have progress 1, right? So I'm going to use animation, and for that we have something called animation property which we can use. So, and for progress 1, I'm going to create animation called progress 1. So this will be the name of my animation, and I want to run this animation for 3 seconds, and I want to run it for 1 time, and I'm going to use some cubic basic, and maybe I'll use this one. Okay, so this is how we create the animation. So you need to use the animation property. This progress 1 is nothing but the name of the animation, and I'm going to write that just after this. And 3 second is a timing. 1 is I want to play it for once. There are different values here. Maybe you can use infinite also if you want to play your animation for, if you want to keep it going on for infinite number of times. And this is more of a busier function to add that jazzy motion to your animations basically. Okay, so I'm going to create my animation now. So I'm the name of that, for that we use something called keyframe, and this is a syntax keyframe, and this is the identifier. That's why I've written this one here. So I'm going to copy and paste progress 1. So 0%, I'll start with this. So basically we animate, think like you have a timeline, and that timeline is divided into percentage. So at 0%, what you want to do, so you can use different properties here, different CSS properties, and you can give them those values. And basically what CSS does, CSS uses those values to animate and show that animation about your component or about your element, HTML element. So at 0%, I want the width of my progress one to be 0, because I'm animating the width here, right? This white part, right? I want to show the animation around my rating. And that rating is nothing but the width here. And at 100%, so I'm going to have two values only, the 0 value and 100% value, because I don't want to animate in between. I just want to show my rating at 0% and then it should animate to 100%. And here I'm going to score myself, maybe in HTML, CSS, I'll score myself 90%. That's a rating, right? So if I save now and if I go back, see that? Okay, I don't want to animate my progress one basic. Actually, I want to animate my span. See that? I'm going to refresh again. And again, it is going back to that width because I have given this hard-coded width. So let me remove that. Okay, so and it's coming and going, right? I want to play it once and it's coming and going. So there is a property called animation fill mode. Where is that? Animation fill mode, and I'll give it a value of forwards. So if you do this, it's going to stay. So it's showing my skills, right? And then those skills are not going back to 0%, right? So okay, so let's target the in a similar way. Now we need to do a lot of copy paste. Basically we need to create different animations now. So let's go with progress 2, and I'll say progress 2, 3 seconds forwards. I'll keep the similar values, but I need to copy this keyframe again and again. So this will be 2, and this is my JavaScript, right? So JavaScript, maybe I'll I'll go with some other values. I want to just show you the different see that 60, and let's go with progress 3. Let's have a progress 3 also animated. Progress 3, progress 3. This is copy paste. You can use something called there is a framework, CSS framework called less sass, right? Sass has a lot of good features. You can write functions, right? So maybe using a function I would have generated, I mean, I don't need to copy and paste all this code. Maybe I should have created a function, and that function should have generated this progress animation for me. So we are not using sass, so we don't have a choice, right? So I'll go with, maybe this time let's go with 30. I'm going to rate myself very low in this skill, the progress 3 skill. I'm going to copy and paste, do the animation for other one also. So I'll go with progress 4, 4, and let's do the fifth one also. Progress 5 and 5. Okay, and next I need to copy this. So this will be my progress 4, and let's go with some 70 value here, and this will be my progress 5, and this time I'll go with 90 value. 90 I have already used, maybe I'll go with 100, 95 this time. Okay, so I'm going to save. Let's go back to our application. See that? See our animation looking beautiful, right? This is how, I mean, this visualization, if someone is going to come to your portfolio website and they're going to see, okay, this guy or girl has a programming skills, and wow, what's good score in HTML, CSS, JavaScript, React, Angular, Java, programming tools, and animation also, right? They're going to like it. And this is responsive too. Let's do that. Not this one. Where is that window? Where I lost my window? Okay, it's here. See that? If I come down, see that? This is responsive, and I haven't used any media query. I've just used my skills of creating card layouts, and it's looking beautiful. Our skills, right? We are showcasing our skills and our ratings, and you're going to get a lot of work. Probably you'll get a lot of work around web designing, web development, right? Because of all these skills. So I think that's it for this video. I think I should change the transparency here, that value, I'll change it. So we are moving great. I would say we have finished almost like this sidebar navigation, this main navigation, right? This photograph, then this quick introduction about yourself. Then we have this project section where you can show your projects, and we have we have shown our skills also, right? Because I have these skills, that's why I've created all of these projects. And in the next video probably we'll focus on the other part of our portfolio website. I think we have almost done now. We have created skills, projects. I'll see like what to create in the next part of the video. I'll come back with that part, and probably we are coming to the end of this series, this portfolio website series. So I'm going to see you in the next video. Until then, you take care and goodbye.